One of the coolest new Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet is probably Ogerpon, and with its 4 terrifying forms, you really can't go wrong with how you run this. So today, we're going to be featuring our very first Ogerpon team in Scarlet and Violet to show off just how terrifying this Pokemon is. If you guys enjoy and want to see more content like this, of course, like and subscribe for more, and give your likes, of course, to the little ogre. She's so adorable, and she's so fun to use. So we're going to use the rock form today, which I haven't seen anyone running, but I think this form is actually pretty terrifying. With partners like, for example, Chien-Pao and Tornadus, you could really make this into a quick snowball. So, of course, we are going to be running yet another, you guessed it, guys, Tailwind team today. First mod, of course, is going to be the Ogerpon-Cornerstone, though, with Ivy Cudgel, Horn Leech, Spiky Shield, and Tantrum. I know this slide says the Ivy Cudgel is a grass move, and that's technically true, but Ogerpon's Cornerstone Max actually makes this into a terrifying base 100, 100% accurate rock-type attack. Completely unheard of, but it's also got pretty high power points as well, which means that we can pretty easily spam this against most opponents, and with the Tera Rock, we can honestly make this thing into a nightmare offensively speaking. Ogerpon is easily one of the most terrifying Tera Pokemon right now, and with the mask, it gains a 1.2 times boost to every attack it uses, no matter what. It's so fucking obnoxious. This thing genuinely is a threat. With the pre-Tera, of course, you do have Sturdy, which I can't lie, it's grown on me a lot. I took advantage of this a lot in the video today. You'll see that, of course. But not only that, but post-Tera, of course, we do have the Embody aspect, which gives the rock-type form of Ogerpon a +2 defense boost. Pretty incredible. And when we partner this next to Chien-Pao, of course, this turns into an offensive nightmare. With Chien-Pao, we're rocking out with Lash Out, Icicle Crash, Sucker Punch, and Protect, with the Jolly Nature and Max Attack and Speed with the Focus Sash item in Tera Ghost. Chien-Pao took a lot of people by surprise by ditching its boost Sacred Sword for Lash Out at Worlds. Well, not for Lash Out, for Crunch, I should say, for the second Dark option. And in today's case, we're just going to ditch Crunch for Lash Out because it's going to be a little bit better due to how many good Intimidate Pokemon we have right now. When Landorus, Therian, and Hisui Arcanine are some of the best Pokemon you could be fighting in the metagame, it's no wonder why Lash Out will actually have a really good place on POW, especially with that sort of rune ability making it even stronger. To help with this, of course, we do have one of Chien-Pao's best partners, being Urshifu Rapid, rocking out with the Choice Scarf with Aqua Jet, Surging Strikes, Close Combat, and U-Turn. Now, I know that Scarf Urshifu typically does run Adamant. I ran mine Jolly, mostly just one to outpace them in case I needed to, but for the more honest reason, that's the reason I didn't change it. The bigger reason, though, is that I forgot to make this an Adamant Urshifu beforehand, and I only just now noticed it, so we rocked out with Jolly Scarf Urshifu for the entire video. Yeah, that's really it. It's still a fine set. Honestly, Urshifu will do a ton of damage to POW anyway, and with Torn Tailwind, we should outpace pretty much any other Scarf Urshifu regardless. Speaking of Torn, of course, we finally do have the Torn. Yet again, same set that we've been running with Sunny Day, Taunt, Bleakwind, and Tailwind. The speed is, of course, just left over, same as the special defense. 164 is just enough for Bleakwinds to murder Urshifu, and then the HP and Fizz Def is for Dragonite next to POW with Tera Normal Banded E-Speed. We up next do have one of Torn's best partners, of course, being Fluttermane with Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, and Thunderbolt. We did change our Fluttermane, of course, after last video. I realized I was not creeping Ogerpon, and it is finally a speed tier worth creeping. We had the 188 speed with the 196 modest, of course, just hitting that special attack bump afterwards. 116 HP is just leftover bulk with the 4 split in defenses just to help with a little bit more stat points into our Pokemon in general. Finally, we do have a Tera Normal Choice Banded Hisui Arcanine with Rock Slide, E-Speed, Flare Blitz, and Head Smash with the Tera Normal. We're rocking out with the Adamant Nature just for as much damage as possible, and Max Speed Hisui Arcanine just to outpace as many things as possible. Realistically, this should be a pretty big damage dealer, and while we could have maybe invested a little bit more in bulk, Tera Normal isn't exactly known for being a really good defensive typing, so we may as well just try and go all out and try and outpace any other Adamant Hisui Arcanine that might be running a slower spread. The team is going to be on screen as well as in the description, so make sure to check that out, and with that said, let's get into today's battles. Alright, and we are here today with some more Regulation E content. If you guys enjoy, of course, like and subscribe, and today we are featuring Ogerpon Rock. Now, we are taking on the unranked ladder today. Despite the team you guys saw in the builder being legal for ranked ladder, I wanted to try and get as much of an experience against as many new Pokemon as possible, so for sake of, we are going to hop on the unranked ladder, even if it's objectively probably going to be a little bit less competitive. So I hope you guys still enjoy that, and with that said, starting off for this match, we are fighting what looks to be a really strong Trick Room team. What I can actually probably do is I could probably just lead off with Chien-Pao, Ogerpon, Rock. My opponent actually doesn't really pressure this too well. Actually no, what I'll probably want to do instead is lead off with Fluttermane and Chien-Pao, bring Ogerpon Rock in the back, and then I can go for, let's see. So I definitely want to lead off with Fluttermane, because I want the Specs way to just try and break through Hatterene as quickly as possible. I could definitely bring Hisui Arcanine, I think is a good last mon here. Either that or Urshifu Rapid. I do kind of like the idea of going with Hisui Arcanine a bit more. Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, because they have multiple different fairies. They have like 3 different fairies and Indeedee as well. I'm not really as huge on Hisui Rapid this game, though it's not bad. I just think that we'll probably get a little bit more use out of Hisui Arcanine, which can at bare minimum maybe try and slow down Hariyama a bit with the Intimidate. So we'll have to see. Realistically, I think I only need the other 3 to try and win this game. Ogerpon will be a really good cleaner here, and as long as I stop Trick Room from getting up, I should be pretty set. I just need to make it past turn 1, and then Ogerpon should be able to tear. So what I am going to do is, in the off chance my opponent clicks anything besides Fake Out, I am actually going to still attack not the Hariyama, I'm going to attack the Hatterene. And I'm going to go for, I think I'm going to just go for an Icicle Crash. This way, in case they go for something that's going to resist Dark, I'm perfectly fine still, like a Fairy, for example. I am also going to click Shadow Ball here right into the Hatterene and just try and nail it as quickly as possible. They are going to Tera, that's good to know. It's probably going to be Tera Steel Hariyama, that's what we've seen in the past, and I mean, it would be shocking if it wasn't. No, they're actually going to click Tera Fire Hatterene. Okay, so a little bit unfortunate that I clicked Icicle Crash there, but to be fair, my opponent probably will just still Fake Out anyway. No, they didn't Fake Out, and they do dodge, that's even worse. Oh no, I really just hope this Spec Shadow Ball kills. I mean, we do have a lot of special attack, to be fair. We unfortunately do not kill. That's super unfortunate. Especially because if my opponent does have something like a Indeedee in the back, that does kind of screw me over a little bit. However, at the same time, I can still muscle this. It's just going to be a little bit more rough. What I am going to proceed to do is I am going to go for Sucker Punch into Hatterene here. And then I am going to go for the Shadow Ball into the Hariyama this turn. That way my opponent has to obviously respect my, they respect my Pokemon. Neither are going for, well actually no, that's a lie. We're going for Sucker Punch on the, yep, okay, and they do have Indeedee. Oh no, this kind of sucks. This definitely kind of sucks, I can't lie. We could still actually maybe win this off of Ogerpon, funny enough, just because of the raw Fizz Def that we'll have. They are going to go for Rock Slide anyway. They do kill both Pokemon. That's actually really unfortunate. Okay. So we can still manage this though. I do think that if nothing else, having Hisui Arcanine and Ogerpon in the back can maybe actually put some decent pressure on this offensively. We'll be dropping Hariyama's attack by 1 stage, and not only this, but Ogerpon will also gain +2 in its physical defense, which should help a lot with just trying to take on these Pokemon. So we are going to go into Ogerpon here. With the Mask of Force, we do actually, funny enough, we gain a lot of attack with this, because we'll gain the Tera Rock Stab, obviously, off of a 100 base power attack. They have no switch into this either. I'm just going to go for the Ivy Cudgel here, and I'm just going to go right into the Hariyama. And then meanwhile, with my Arcanine, I'm just going to go for the Rock Slide here, just because it's a really spammable attack. Again, they don't have great Rock switch-ins, so we're going to go for it. I feel confident, especially with the -1. This combination should actually put up some decent pressure against my opponent. Despite having both Serena and Hariyama, I feel confident we'll be able to take this hit pretty well. So let's see, come on. Can we take the hit? Can we take the hit? I feel confident, even if it's like Guts Close Combat, I feel confident we can take that hit, actually. They're gonna Helping Hand boost, that's fine. That's very fine, actually. What are they gonna click? Rock Slide. They're gonna still click Rock Slide, so they're just trying to go for flinch. We go for Rock Slide of our own. Okay, that's pretty good damage. We get the Hatterene on the Indeedee already below half, and we don't get flinch. That's so perfect. Okay, so, yep, we're gonna chew this, and, okay, that's not terrible, at least. So, what I can proceed to do, I think I'm just gonna go for another Rock Slide here, and then I'm gonna go for a Horn Leech right into Hariyama, just in case they go for, like, a Wide Guard this turn or anything, and just try and stop. Nope, they're just gonna go for Helping Hand, and they're gonna go for the Rock Slide. Okay, so I do kind of need to win this game off of Ogerpon now. It's not impossible, but it's definitely gonna be difficult. However, thanks to Horn Leech, of course, we can actually gain some health back against this team pretty easily. And we have Spiky Shield as well in case I need to break a Focus Sash in the off chance that, like, Serena's the last Pokemon. So I can definitely still manage this. I think I could even stall out the next turn of Trick Room as well, which should be nice. And then Hatterene, I should be able to hopefully take a hit against, especially if we can clear the Psychic Terrain, that should be good. So they should only have 1 more turn of Trick Room, which is fine. They're going to go into Clefable, actually. Okay, Clefable's the last mon. This should be easy. I am just going to go for a Horn Leech this turn, right into Hatterene. Not into Hatterene, into Indeedee. Even if they do bring in the Hatterene, that's fine. It's just damage on Hatterene, and I can, again, just try and kill their Psychic Terrain Setter, and then just play around their Trick Room, potentially. They're going to go for Helping Hand into Clefable. This kind of leads me to believe Gleam is coming here. Moonblast. Oh, they're just single target. Okay. That's... Oh, wow, that just kills. That's super unfortunate. Because if I just clicked Lash Out on turn 1 instead of Icicle Crash, then I would have won the game. I would have won the game on turn 1, though I wouldn't have gotten to show off Ogerpon. That's super unfortunate. Okay, well, it is what it is. Honestly, I don't even think Urshifu would have done that much better. Because Urshifu would have still kind of struggled in this position, especially with Trick Him Up, since we were Scarf Urshifu this game. So it's a little unfortunate, but we'll take what we can get. We'll see you guys in game number 2, though. Peace out. Okay, so moving on to game 2, we have, to say the least, not a Regulation E team, that's for sure. I actually still, weirdly enough, feel confident against this one, though. Miraidon is kind of checkable by my team because they don't have a good Tailwind mon. I could probably just lead off with Torn and then Flutter Mane and just kind of steamroll. We'll go with, let's see, so I do need a good check to Sylveon. That's definitely looking like Harkonine for sure. And then I do kind of like the idea of running Ogerpon as last mon because at the very bare minimum it can pressure Ozzy pre-Tera. I don't think this will be a Tera Ogerpon game, but I think that Ogerpon in its own right is definitely a good Pokemon here. Because, I mean, Ivy Cudgel plus Hornleech alone actually hits this team pretty perfectly. And then I have Tantrum for the Miraidon. So actually, I could probably do some serious damage in Tailwind with this mon in this game. It might unironically be my best thing, just because Azu and Sylveon can kind of threaten the rest of my Pokemon that are otherwise really good here. But we'll have to see, I'm kind of hoping they just lead Miraidon here, because I could take that out pretty well with my lead. They don't. They lead off with Dual Fairy. That might actually be a lot scarier, I can't lie. Because this lead isn't really great for Flutter Mane, and I don't have a great switch into the combination. What I'll need to do, actually, is I'll need to go for Sunny Day to try and weaken Azu Aqua Jet here. And then I need to go for Tera Fairy, and I need to go for the Gleam into both these Pokemon, and I just need to try and dent them as well as possible. I can't really go for Tailwind just yet, because my opponent has such slow Pokemon, and while neither can set Trick Room, I just need to focus on breaking them because of their insane bulk here. So we're just going to try and shatter whatever I can, really. Because again, these are just such threatening offensive Pokemon that I have to respect that they will click attacks here. I'm assuming Azu at least clicks Aqua Jet. At bare minimum, that Mon clicks Aqua Jet here. So, oh, we're speed boosting. Oh, that's, oh no, I made this timid on accident. Oh no, that's very bad. That's very bad, actually. Okay, well, thankfully they're not the good Sylveon, but that special attack drop is definitely going to hurt a ton, because now we actually, oh no, that's very bad. That's so bad, actually, because I need this Mon still. I need to go into I need to go into Harkonine, actually. I'm gonna kind of hope that with the Sun, maybe Aqua Jet just doesn't kill, and even if it does, that's my sack here, because I need Ogerpon for, really, I need it for the safe switch, but I don't feel confident in taking the Sylveon hit, in all honesty. Especially with Aqua Jet also being neutral. I mean, I know Harkonine being 4 times weak isn't exactly gonna be much better, but I don't really feel confident that I'll take, like, several hits. They're gonna switch out Azu, okay. Might have been the best thing to happen this turn, I can't lie. Go into Miraidon here. Dragonite, okay, that's also fine for me. Because Bleakwind, in case this is multi-scale, we now have broken it, and Sylveon isn't going to break my Harkonine anyway. But man, okay, so I know that I'm timid. I'm still gonna leave that the team was intended for Modest, and I am just gonna fix that for the rental after. I know I don't usually do that, but I mean, it's a really big way to change how you play the team. So I do kind of need to make that change. I'll change it for the next game, actually, because I thankfully, I do have the mint for that. So I can quickly change that. But oh my god, that's a pretty big difference. Thankfully, we have the Harkonine, but Azu can still put up a lot of pressure against that. And since I don't have Tera anymore, I can't even try and beat it with Tera either. Miraidon will definitely pose a bit of a threat. I know I do not KO it, so I'm going to probably lose one of, if not both, my Pokemon here to that. And then Ogerpon, though, thankfully can confidently clean. But it was a position I should not have had to be in. Okay, they're going to bring in, that's definitely Azu, and, oh no, it's Miraidon, okay. So they just have the Great Friend mark on everything. Understandable. At least they care about their Pokemon. Hadron Engine is definitely going to make them a bit weaker, at least to my team. But Miraidon honestly just going to shatter my Pokemon anyway. We're going to go for Tailwind here, and I'm going to go for Rock Slide here. I'm just going to try and flinch Miraidon in all honesty. Harkonine does a lot of offensive damage, and I could probably at least bring this to half. So even if I don't flinch, Ogerpon plus Flutter Mane can win this game in Tailwind. I will probably just go for the Ogerpon kill, just because it's funnier, but we'll have to see. They're gonna probably Aqua Jet me. No, they don't Aqua Jet me. Okay, so Ozzy's definitely gone. And Miranda, wow, that chews. That really chews. Oh my goodness. This could probably just go for Parabolic here and claim my Torn. No, they're gonna go for Electric Drift. Okay, thank God. Alright, so thankfully they don't go for Parabolic. That actually helps a shit ton, because I can now just go for Tantrum right into this, and then I can go for Rock Slide in the off chance I don't KO. So I don't need to bring in the Fluttermane, thankfully, which is, that's good. That's a good. Okay. So we are gonna go into Ogerpon here. The little fella. She's doing her best. She's doing her absolute darn hardest. And I love that for her. Actually, just in case, so we do about as much damage with Ivy Cudgel, thanks to the stab boost. I'm just gonna go for Ivy Cudgel here. Also, it's a cuter animation, frankly, so we're just gonna go for that. But that way then as well, in case Mirana does Tera, because if it Tera'd into anything besides electric, this would be the better play. Perfect. Ivy Cudgel just kills anyway. Beautiful. We love that for her. Alright. Ogerpon got her first win. We will take that. We'll see you guys in game number 3. I will have fixed the Fluttermane for game number 3 though. Peace out. Okay, we are back. I fixed the Fluttermane really quickly. The rental is now updated. That'll be the rental you guys see. I already took down the other one to replace the spot, but that should be perfect. We're taking on a pretty interesting team. I like this one a lot, actually. This is Grimmsnarl and DD Female, Sinistra. They have Rillaboom, Torkoal, and Milotic. So they have a nice Trick Room mode. I'm assuming that Milotic is probably going to be some sort of offensive Tera here with competitive, and they're probably going to use Grimmsnarl with like Scary Face to try and trigger that for this Trick Room team. It's a pretty flagrant Trick Room team in all honesty. What I'm going to do to lead against that to try and combat is lead off with Fluttermane, and actually no, I might be better off actually leading off with Ogerpon-Pao. Because they're probably going to lead off with... So they're going to probably lead off with Rillaboom here. Actually... So their only Trick Room setter isn't DD, which means they can't fake me out. So yeah, this is actually a pretty safe lead either way. Because even if they don't go for Trick Room, I'm still fine. We're going to bring Fluttermane in the back, and I think last one probably will be... I kind of like Urshifu. Definitely Urshifu or Harknine. Urshifu, I mean, it doesn't... Actually, so Urshifu is really good for getting through the screens, that's about it. Harknine, though, just matches up really well offensively into the team, so I am going to bring Harknine, I think. But Ogerpon-Pao should actually do some pretty scary damage to my opponent. They don't really have great switch-ins for that combination of stabs, because between Grass, Rock, Ice, and Dark, I mean, yeah, something will die to one of these Pokemon. They would basically need to lead pretty perfectly and then switch into something that happens resist, but like they don't really have a lot of options for that. They lead off with Rillaboom Grim. Okay, that's very manageable actually. What I can proceed to do, I can just go for Spiky Shield here, and then I can go for the Tera Dark and the Tera Ghost, and then just go for Icicle Crash. That way then I can still pressure Rillaboom in case it tries to fake out to break my Focus Sash. And then if they go for it into actually, no, because I do kind of like, well, actually, do I like Pure Rock Ogerpon here? Pure Rock Ogerpon does have its advantage actually for Torkoal. That's really about it. I think for sake of, I'm actually going to try and predict that they'll go for Pao. I'll go for Ivy Cudgel into Rillaboom here. And I'm going to go for a Protect here actually. If they go for like a Glide, that's fine. I don't really care a ton. If they go for Screens, again, they're definitely going for Reflect if they're going for Screens. But I'm still pretty okay with that. We're going to go for Protect though. I have a feeling they're going to go for Pao. They're going to actually not go for any sort of fake out this turn. So a little bit of a wasted opportunity to kill Rillaboom here, which could have been pretty useful, but it still is fine. We actually, oh, holy shit, that does so much damage. Oh my goodness. Thankfully we're neutral. Thankfully we have Sturdy, I should say. All right. So Speed fell, that's whatever. Man, Ogerpon's Breathe ability, I'm going to be honest, I never thought we'd pop that, but I'm very happy we have it. That's such a useful ability. Like, it's something I would definitely take for granted, but that's so useful. We'll go for Spiky Shield here, try and pressure Rillaboom in case it goes for Glide to pick this off. I have a feeling they very well might go for that, because they didn't respect it last turn. They didn't respect it last turn, so why would they this turn? They're going to go for their second screen on Grim. I really don't care about Grim at this point. It's just kind of a foddermon against my team. We're going to crash Rillaboom. Okay, so Rillaboom just dies. I'm assuming they forgot Glide was in the game, which I'm very okay with that, because Glide Rillaboom would have been so much scarier. Because even the -1 speed doesn't really hurt me against this team in all honesty, because we should probably still pace Milotic unless it's a faster Milotic, and then everything else is just really fucking slow. I am going to go for the Horn Leech into Milo just in case, and then I'm going to go for the Lash Out into Milo just because I don't expect a Tera Fairy or Dark or anything. Like if it's going for Tera, it's probably going to go for like a Tera Rock or like a not a Tera Rock, like a Tera Fire, like a Tera Grass, or a probably Tera Fire, Grass, or Electric if I had to guess. Fire would obviously be good for opposing grasses. They're not even going to Tera that. That's perfectly fine. Lash Out will do some decent damage. And then Horn Leech if we do outpace. They're going to go for Coil. Okay, they're Coil Milotic. Ooh, they're pulling out all the stops from back in Sword and Shield. This would be a lot better if it had Triple Axle. Still, that would actually be kind of a terrifying mon right now. But we just kill. Holy shit. Grassy Terran really does clutch up, even through Reflect and with Sword of Ruin. This mon is kind of filthy. And that's the thing too. So like I know we're on casual ladder, and I know like if my opponent doesn't have Glide Rillaboom, but I mean neither of those would have honestly mattered a ton this game. And even still, again, oh damn, that killed. Holy shit, Ogerpon's real as fuck. But even still though, like my opponent obviously also has like a fairly real core here. Like this is a core that you could definitely end up seeing on ladder in my opinion. So it's one of those things where like just because it's casual ladder, I do think this was still indicative of the Regulation E experience a little bit better. So I'm kind of glad that we went for it. They're going to win to Sinistra. Thankfully, we wasted Hospitality here, which is great. I'm going to go for Tera Fairy just to get rid of my weakness to this mon. Actually, yeah, I can still go for that, actually. I can go for that pretty confidently. And just go for Shadow Ball plus Lash Out. Oh my god, my game is lagging a ton here. Yeah, but Shadow Ball plus Lash Out should be enough to pick this off. Even if they go for like a defensive Tera, like a Fire, for example, which, again, Fire could be pretty good here. I'd expect more so with Tera Dark, if anything. And even if they do go for Tera Dark, though, I'm kind of okay with that. Maybe I should have Icicle Crash just in case, but it shouldn't make a huge difference. Sinistra isn't exactly the greatest Terramon, and frankly, again, Grim would have probably been more likely to Tera anyway. We do see that neither goes for Tera, though, which is fine. Sinistra is taken down, which is pretty useful. Because the last of my Pokemon can certainly break through Harkonine, especially with the POW plus the... Well, not Harkonine, the Grimmsnarl. Especially POW plus Harkonine can definitely manage it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the... I'm just going to go for Crash, actually. And then I'm going to... I could honestly probably just spam Shadow Ball. I don't even have a reason to really switch. They're going to cancel Cam anyway, if we're going to be honest. They're going to cancel Battle right now. No, they actually Tera. So this unironically might benefit me a little more for not having swapped. Because Shadow Ball will probably be a better play into most things. Yeah, they're going to go for Tera Fairy. So that was kind of accidental. I clicked this mostly just thinking they'd forfeit, and it was the clicker buttons to click there. I don't know why I said quick, but I'll take it. I'll certainly take it. Because my opponent will just kind of fold to this. Well, they won't die, but Grim is no spread, and it guaranteed does die next turn because I have 3 Pokemon left, and it underslows both my Pokemon. We flinched anyway. A little unfortunate hacks-wise. It really only matters for differential, though, frankly, which, I mean, doesn't actually change anything on ladder. It's a ladder game. It doesn't really have a ton of weight. We'll go for Lash Out just because it's a cooler animation. I like the Lash Out animation a lot. There, they cancel battle now. Okay, so perfect. Ogerpon put up a lot of good work early on. I can't lie, Milotic with screens could have been kind of annoying for this team, so I'm really glad that we had it. The mom is pretty good. We'll see you guys in the next battle, though, which will probably be our final game of the day. Peace out. Okay, so moving on to our final game of the day, we're taking on a team consisting of Talonflame, Dragonite, Galar Articuno, Hisui and Gudra, Grimmsnarl, and Zangoose. There's a good amount of Grim on the ladder today. For a mon that's really underrepresented right now, it's kind of funny. Luckily, though, unironically, this is probably the best Ogerpon matchup we've had all day. I'm going to lead off. Sadly, we don't have Sacred Sword and POW. That will actually make Gudra a little bit annoying. That'll actually make Gudra very annoying. I'll need to be careful with that Pokemon. Because Hoodra could be kind of a problem. I'm going to need to lead off with... I think I need to lead off with Torn. I definitely need to lead off with Torn. Because Torn will be useful to stop a lead Hoodra. Because I need to make sure it can't get up Shelter is the big thing. I need to delay that as long as possible. And I think I'm going to bring Fluttermane on lead. And I'm going to bring Ogerpon and POW as my backliners, I think. Really, so Urshifu would also be really good here, especially with Tera Water, if it wasn't for the fact that Hoodra is on this team. It's the only Pokemon that I actually care about with Hoodra, but it's such an annoying threat, and it will probably go for a Tera Water of its own. So I just need to stop it from going for Tera, and I need to very slowly whittle it down. Is going to be the issue here. Thankfully, though, Ogerpon can go for the combination of Spiky Shield plus... Oh, they're going to go for Grim Talonflame? Oh, I'm very fine with Grim Talonflame. I can match their Tailwind very easily here. And then, not only that, but I can also then just apply a lot more offensive pressure to their team. So I'm going to go for Tailwind, and I'm going to go for Gleam. I'm just going to go for damage early on. This is perfectly fine, as long as my Torn stays alive, which it pretty easily should. I can't imagine that Torn will die here necessarily. Torn, I mean, they would have to like raw Brave Bird. Even still, we're so Fizz Def. Like we can take on, for context, I don't even think that Banded Talonflame would kill with like Tera Flying Brave Bird. Because we just, like, we're meant to take on Tera Normal E-Speed D-Knight next to Pao. Like, Talon's not killing me. They're not even gonna go for, they're going for like a Taunt or something. They're definitely going for like Taunt or Sunny Day here. Or maybe like a Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz actually also could be good. They're gonna go for Taunt, okay. Taunt's actually a little annoying, I won't lie. So they definitely did that trying to anticipate like a Mental Herb, so they could have maybe went for Taunt second turn, or maybe, actually, probably what they did was probably assuming like a Citrus Berry, because otherwise there wouldn't be a huge reason for that play. But they do have a lot easier access to Hoodra now, which is actually kind of a problem. That does mean we have to switch out. We can thankfully go into Ogerpon pretty confidently though, because they're going to target Fluttermane with Heavy Slam for certain. Meanwhile, they're also going to be going for, well, they're going to go for Shelter, they're going to go for Heavy Slam. And frankly, I don't care either way. I go for Tera, no, I don't go for Tera Fairy here. I actually save the Tera for, save it for Ogerpon. Because Ogerpon with Tera as a pure Rockmon could actually have a lot of merit into stuff like Dragonite. It can also have a lot of merit into Hoodra even, just with the +2 Fizz Def. So we're just gonna claim our KOs. That's perfectly fine. Talonflame's gonna Brave Bird. Ooh, Ogerpon takes that, but not super well. Okay, Talonflame at least drops. That is still useful. And I can go for Tera and at least try and Horn Leech, whatever the partner slot is. They're gonna go for Heavy Slam into Fluttermane. Yep, okay, perfectly fine. Okay. Definitely not super great here, but I'd be lying if I said it was, like, unwinnable. Because they thankfully did not go for a Shelter yet, which is good. I can proceed to just go for a Taunt here on Hoodra, because they've lost Grim now as well. And that should at least slow the threateningness of Hoodra. Most likely as well, whatever Pokemon they bring in next cannot kill Tera Ogerpon. Because Tera Rock Ogerpon will massacre through Gardecuno, it'll massacre through Dragonite, it'll massacre through a lot of their team actually. They're gonna go for Dragonite. Okay, this is perfect. What I'm going to do then is I'm gonna go for the Taunt, and I'm gonna go for the Tera Rock Ivy Cudgel. We're gonna go for that right into Dragonite. And we're gonna go for Taunt into Hoodra. Now, thankfully, my Ogerpon should outpace everything here. Very confidently. Even if we lose Tailwind, it should outpace everything here. I think the Dragonite will probably be the Terramon, which actually makes my Hoodra matchup a little bit easier, because I could just go for the combination of Tantrum plus Icicle Crash and try and flinch it down. Tera Water would actually be so much scarier, but I don't think they're going to not Tera Dragonite. Like, there's no way they don't Tera Dragonite here. Because Dragonite with Tera Normal is the only way that doesn't just drop to this hit. I refuse to believe it takes the hit, actually, otherwise. And even still, thankfully, if it is Banded Dragonite and it locks like an E-Speed or something, it's kind of finished. So it can't even confidently lock that, because it can't really pressure my team a lot. So, give me... Oh. Let's see, okay. Oh, I told her I'm going to call her back. It should be like a minute or two before I'm done with this. Okay, and so they're going to go for Tera Normal on Dragonite. That's perfectly fine. It's going to be a Tera Normal type, which should be easy to damage, thankfully, because they don't have Torn on a Pow next to it, so we do take that hit. I can taunt the Hoodra. So we're gonna taunt this, and then we're gonna go for the Ivy Cudgel. I don't know why I was gonna say Embody aspect. And then this should at least do half. Yeah, that's not terrible damage. Okay, this should be fine. What I can actually do now is I can probably even just go... So I actually can't go hard into Pow here, unfortunately. But what I can do, I can actually just go for a Horn Leech into Dragonite, try and get some health back. Then I can go for a Bleakwind Storm. They're probably going to kill the Torn, frankly. I'm fully anticipating that. But my goal is just to try and take on the Hoodra and Dragonite combination a little bit better, and I think this should be my best way to do that. Dragonite will definitely not kill Ogerpon if it's going for E-Speed here, thankfully. So really the only actual... Yeah, they're going to go for Torn. Okay. And then Hoodra, I don't think it'll kill after the... I don't think it'll kill after the +2 Fizz Def, especially when Hoodra doesn't have +2 Fizz Def right now, and we also get a boost, thankfully, because of our mask. And that does just allow us to kill. This was probably a multi-scale Dragonite, because Horn Leech should not have killed, actually. So we'll take that, though. We'll take that for sure. Because we're now at about half, and we can actually start dealing some serious damage to this. Thankfully, Tantrum will do more damage. They're going to go for Heavy Slam anyway. Oh, that just kills. I'll be honest. Oh, there's a crit. Okay, I was going to say, because there's no way that killed a +2. I actually refuse to believe that. That's kind of rough, actually. I do probably need to flinch this with Icicle Crash. It's still winnable. It's still definitely winnable, because Hoodra has no Fizz Def boost. but I need to flinch it. I need to flinch it or just do way more damage than I'm anticipating. But thankfully this is still behind a taunt, at least for one more turn. I think it's for 2 more, but I'm pretty sure it's only for 1 more. Either way though, we do just kind of need to damage this pretty well. So we're gonna go for Crash and we're gonna just hope for the flinch. Even if we do shake the taunt on Hoodra, I think it's best play still just going for Body Press in all honesty. So we're gonna go for Crash here. That does about half. Okay, if we flinch, okay, we flinch. All right. So now that we have our Sash intact, my play is actually to go for Lash Out. Because Lash Out will guarantee land, and that's more important now. I needed the 1 flinch at the very least, just to guarantee that I could still win the game. So we're gonna go for that, just because Lash Out is now a safer play. It'll do slightly less damage than Crash, but it's still probably gonna, it might even kill in all honesty from this range, but it's gonna be close. Yeah, okay, so we killed next turn with Crash. Oh, they're gonna go for life too. Okay. So I might need to go for, okay. I might need to go for a Crash. Actually, Lash Out should still be fine. Lash Out should still be fine. I feel very confident we can at least, like Hoodra can never win this game, and I hope my opponent recognizes that. I will say though, because it's unrated ladder, I'm gonna give it 1 more turn. I might just forfeit, like, and take the moral win on this one. As lame as that sounds, just because I do kind of have to answer a call. Oh, no, we're doing enough damage. Okay, they think they're gonna let me get the kill. All right, perfect. Yeah, we're just gonna go for a Lash Out here. We guarantee win the game. So I am going to try and speed through this because I do have to really quickly take care of something. So while I am getting this last turn, hopefully you guys do enjoy. And if you did enjoy the content today and you want to see some more Ogerpon, leave a like and subscribe. We're going to cover all 4 forms as individual videos over the next few days. Tomorrow is going to be Okie Dokie though, just to space it out. And then we're going to do probably Tera Water. Then we're going to do Blood Moon and then probably Tera Fire and then something else and then Tera Grass. Probably Poltergeist and then Tera Grass. Or maybe Dipplin. Point being is that we're going to try and space them out. So if you enjoy that, of course, subscribe for more. With that said, also consider becoming a channel member today. For just a couple dollars a month, you can get some nice bonus content. We have a Cliff Fairy video going out on Sunday for you guys. And our current channel members are Zeke Zero, Mia, Timo Mueller, Sam, Rao Plays, Obo, Johannes B, Double, Endless Gadgets, Ben Bambi, Josh K Ultra Player, and Incog. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, peace out, guys.